Got a lot of empty spaces in a good seat, fellas. Morning. Put on the topics this morning, equipment operations, overhead work, and open holes. And certainly we understand why we're looking at those things, because we've got major work taking place. When you walk out of this shop that way, two major operations going on. To the best of our ability, I think it's being handled as best as it can, but be aware that, sometimes we just don't have our mind on what we're doing, and if you walk into a hole, it's going to hurt. If you're working above, you can affect what's going on down below. So let's make sure that anybody who's down there in that zone, we've got control, and we make sure that we limit the amount of travel down there. I know some guys are going to have to be down there below the cherry pickers and below the man lift. Make sure you got your hard hat. Get your ducks in a row before we get our work started, fellas. By and large, we're doing it the right way. As long as we continue to do that, we'll be okay with all this work that's taking place. I put a small mirror up on this administrative building yesterday afternoon. That's not the mirror that's going to stay up there. The big one should be in possibly today. But I got two small ones. They're 18-inch mirrors, and they have an 80-pound magnet on them. They can be moved around. I think we have some other blind spots if they will benefit us. You guys kind of let me know where we need some. They're very cost effective. They're less than 50 bucks a piece because they're plastic convex mirrors. So let us know and we'll get some up. In some cases, I think they would be real good to use at the shop doors, but we're going to have to be real careful if that's where we utilize them, because you can actually stick it up there, and when you pull the door down, tear it up. But if we need some, let me know. We're going to be looking, myself and Bill, and see if we can spot a few places, and we'll get some more mirrors put up. Equipment operations have been going pretty well in terms of how we're operating our equipment and having any adverse effects from not operating correctly. We're still moving some pretty big components, so just always be aware that that corner right there, you don't know what you're going to meet when you come around that corner. And do it safely. Do it at a safe speed. I saw Bama, I guess, bringing some more of those racks around the other day. And, you could meet up with something that's going to cause both of you some grief if we're not watching what we're doing. So I guess the bottom line is what I always say: try to operate at a safe speed, and then that way you can compensate for when something comes to see you. So make sure we approach anything that we're doing that way. We have an out, we have a way to get away from what we're dealing with, or we don't have to be around it at all. But approach what you're doing as though we may have a failure. We'll be okay with that. I was going to card review this morning. I went through them yesterday afternoon, but I figured we'd talk about this work that's going on, because I think we got another couple of weeks of looking at it the way it is. So just continue to, if you're in that area doing the work in that area, you're absolutely sure of what's going on. But if you have to approach these areas, make sure that you understand what you got to do and how you need to get it done properly. We're going to be okay. I think we're going to be looking at a barge around next Wednesday. So, just start thinking barges, fellas. We're not too far away from seeing them back there. The work on the barges doesn't seem to be a whole lot different than the work that we do here in the shops, but getting on and off of the barges and a lot of other nuances are greatly different than just working here in the shop. So, fabrication crew has made a bunch more ramps, so we're in good shape with ramps. Just start thinking over what the proper procedures are, and we'll start going over. Safety stations, make sure the safety stations have what they need. Checking the gangways before you get on the barge. Shutting off equipment at breaks and lunchtime. All the things that we just have to kind of rethink because we've been away from for a few months. And beyond that, again, good job, fellas. Safety man was posted yesterday with no marks on it. So that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Keep up the good work. try to continue. We need some more near misses documented, and I know we're seeing them. And that's just a matter of stopping what you're doing because it's important enough to report it to someone and us getting it down on paper. But keep up the good work, fellas. What y'all got this morning?
There's a lot of activity going on behind the machine shop. There's a lot of people that are doing a good job. They have plates, the doors come off, they move it out the way, the big tripping half, give a lot of room for the machinery to move around. Doing a good job today.
It's a major amount of work on that building. How long have we been saying those doors need to be fixed, you know, and it's finally going to happen. We're going to be in a much better place with it. But that's a major amount of work, and I was over there yesterday watching it. You guys are handling your work properly.
Right now, we're doing a lot of work with this, so
that's probably an excellent place to put a mirror up.
Hey Brad, by that VJ machine, when they going in the back, around there by that road, they need to check with us, make sure we ain't going up when they come into there. You know, sometimes we don't be going up, but they need to check with us before they go back there. Make sure
On either side of the machines or in between the machines, depending on what they're doing, will determine whether or not we need to have personnel around there. So the lights are your first indicator, but most of you guys have radios. We can communicate before we even get over there because in some cases it might be a wasted trip because they might be coming up on a load. So make sure y'all stay in touch with the guys at the test machine and see what's going on. We are going to roll out, this will be a surprise to Tony, and he's intimately involved in this. We are going to roll out an assured grounding program probably before the end of this month. What you can expect to see after that, Tony will have an estimate to check extension cords, to check the plugs on all tools. We'll go to a color coding on the tools, a color coding on the extension cords. It'll carry us across a quarter with a primary color across a quarter. January will be white. That quarter, January, February, March, April, May, June will be green. When you move into the summer months, July, August, September, we'll go to red. And then the last part of it will be orange. That'll be the primary color because we know we're not going to get every cord checked every month. So by quarter is what OSHA will allow us to do. And then there'll be secondary colors in there. But you'll know if something is out of compliance in terms of being checked. And we priced out the meter yesterday, and the meter's going to be ordered. So kind of tighten us up a little bit in that fashion, and you'll be able to bring a cord back in there. Hey Tony, I need to swap this out. It needs to be checked. And you'll be able to look at a cord and based on the colors, or look at a grinder and know that it's been checked and it's in good shape. Shouldn't eliminate you taking another look at it, but again, we're just trying to get as compliant as we can get, fellas. That's what our customers want. You know, DB 10,000 is fixing to be audited by Chevron's Marine Division. So when these people come in and take a good look at us, they take a good look at us. And shame on us for not doing it. Things take time. If you want to enjoy a meal, you eat it slowly. We can't roll out a bunch of things and expect to have any consistency with it if we just throw a bunch of stuff on you guys. So this will be a little bit of a transition process, but this is what's been written up and going to be slid into the safety management system. It should benefit us. Anybody else? Y'all have a good day. Paul.